Wednesdays mean grammar here at Apex Languages. This is Stephanie, and today we're going to talk about definite articles. So what are articles again? We talked about this last week. Grammatical articles, that's a very small group. It includes a, un, and the. And their jobs are to describe the specificity of an object, how specific or how general something is. The is specific, a is more general. So in this example, water doesn't have anything. It's what we call an uncountable noun, and we'll talk about that next week. Just refers to any water that has ever existed ever. Super general. A water is a little bit more specific, but instead of any water, I'm talking about water in a glass. Nonetheless, I don't really care what water in particular goes into the glass. You can get me a bottled water, you can get me something from the tap. I just want a water. The water, however, is the most specific because the water that the athlete is drinking, the water that's on this table in front of me. Yes, there are only 3 articles, but we divide them into 2 groups. The first is the indefinite articles, that's a and un. They're a little trickier because they can only be used with countable nouns, things that you can count. And we'll talk about that more next week, but in theory, the idea is something that I'm able to count as opposed to abstract ideas. They can also only be used in the singular. So, a girl. How many girls are in the room? 1. So she's a girl. But love is that abstract idea. You can't really touch it. You can't really, well, you can feel it, but not physically, right? So it's just uncountable. Love. You don't use a. Now, let's say we've got 2 girls. Well, a girl, but girls. So whenever your noun is plural, you cannot use the indefinite article, whether it's countable or not. The definite article, the, is a lot easier. It can be used with any noun. It can be used in the singular, it can be used in the plural. The thing about the is that it's used to take any word and make it that much more specific. So, the girl. When you're writing something, the first time that you introduce something, so if I said, I was riding my bike and I saw a squirrel. Well, that squirrel, you've never seen it before, it's a. But as I continue to write, as I continue to refer back to the squirrel, I talk about it, I continue to talk about it, I'm going to start saying, the squirrel was very sneaky. The squirrel was trying to steal food from people in the park. Okay? So, I could say the squirrel, I could say the girl, I could say the love that I feel for you. Not just love, I'm in love, but the specific love that I feel for you. And again, singular plural, the girl, the girls. The girls at the party were a lot of fun. And for the rest of this discussion, I'm going to focus on those definite articles. So, what can it do besides make something more specific? One nifty thing it does is it turns adjectives into group nouns. What do I mean by that? Well, here we have the young woman. It's important to note that articles are used with nouns. That being said, the young woman, that's what we call a noun phrase. The and young are both describing woman. So even though the comes in front of young, it's actually referring to the woman. Okay, so the young woman, we've seen that. But if you just say the young is short for the young people. And so by putting the in front of an adjective, it turns that adjective into more or less a noun. Okay, you could say the old, you could say the weak, the strong, the purple people, or the purple things. Okay, but the idea is it's a group of things that are purple or young. What else can it do? You could turn names into group nouns. Homer Simpson, okay? But you say the Simpsons. So by putting the and making the name plural, you're not just talking about one Simpson, you're talking about the entire family. Again, the basic rule with the is it makes something more specific. But there are some phrases, some words that always require the. So I'm going to go through a couple different scenarios. Okay, let's start with countries. Okay, Mexico, France, China. Usually, names of things don't use the, but the United States. Okay, people leave the off of the United States all the time, but you have to use it. The United Kingdom, our cousin on the other side of the ocean. Okay, the Netherlands, the Philippines, the People's Republic of China. Now, China doesn't need the, but the People's Republic of China does. Why is that? Well, you use the referring to countries when you're talking about a group. Again, it's this idea of turning things into groups. Okay, so the United States, it's states, a group of states that are united, a group of kingdoms that are united. Okay, the People's Republic. So it's a group, and the Philippines, that's an island. Okay, and so islands, uh, groups of things, you're going to need the Dominican Republic. Okay, is another one. So number one thing, if you live or used to live in a country that qualifies and needs the, remember it. And always remember the United States, because we are a group of states. Bodies of water also tend to use the. So the Atlantic Ocean, the Mediterranean Sea, the Mississippi River, but Lake Superior. Because nothing's simple in life, right? So oceans, seas, rivers use the, but lakes are difficult. Okay, so something to keep in the back of your mind. Lakes do not use the, but other bodies of water, basically, when in doubt, put the in front of it. Okay, what are some cases when you do not use the? Again, this idea of titles, names. So when you're talking in general, the president, the doctor, okay, everybody knows that you're talking about a specific president, a specific doctor, but President Trump, Dr. Phil, okay, other titles like Mr. and Mrs. Smith, or if you're going to use mom as the name, right, the mother at the store was having a hard time with her kids, but when you say, Mom, I need help, well, that's her name, that you're using it as a name, and so it does not require the. For places, same idea. General places, the store, the mall, the post office, but when you're going to give me a specific name of a place, Target, Starbucks, Central Park, you don't use the. These here are very unique, and so these are ones that you just want to memorize, okay? You do not put the in front of work. You don't put the in front of school or church. And definitely not in front of home. So I'm going to work, the place that I work, right? I'm going to school, I'm going to church, I'm going home. It's just such a special place that we don't even use to, let alone the. So remember, I'm going home. Just a few more rules and we'll wrap this up. Okay, some special combinations. the White House. Now, a name of a place, you don't use the, but originally when they built this, they kept referring it as it's the White House. Which one? Well, the big one where the president lives. So it's they call it. It's always called the White House. These ones, the Senate building, the tech building, and so you see that combination, the something something building. Okay, it's not really considered the name of it. If you've got building, you want to use the. Here's another combination for you to look out for. The blank blank of. Okay, so the Library of Congress, the National Gallery of Art. This is very common with schools. So the State University of North Carolina, the Culinary Institute of America, the North Carolina School for the Deaf. For, okay, but still that pattern. So the of. On the other hand, if it's just the name, you don't use the. So Duke University, Wake Forest University, Wake Technical Community College. Okay, they don't have the of, so you're not going to use the. Practice makes perfect. Instead of having you write sentences for me, I want you to do some underlining. Read through a newspaper, read through a book, and underline, where do you see the, where do you see where do you not see anything and you would expect to see something. Think critically, look at the rules that I have here, and email me if you have questions, if you find something and you can't understand why is there a the, why is there an why is there nothing. Well, we've come to the end. Don't forget to check out our website for more videos, apexlanguages.com. Thank you as always for watching, and have a wonderful day.